welcome to the special Monday, yours truly before the summer, where we are relaunching my workout training program. Commence working out, training, and exercising. Start taking some steps. Stretch before commencing, left and right. And the freestyle independent fitness captain, not liable for any damage whatsoever if you do imitate the rainbow dragon's moves. It is almost 11 in the morning. Did my laundry and I'm gonna commence begin as always with gratitude, grateful, thankful that my rent's paid my rent, paid my electricity bill, go Hydro Quebec, go 24/7 for the farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks. All those public workers now picking up the garbage who already picked up recycling in my neighborhood early this morning. They are also athletes, as I'm an independent ASPE artist, athlete, double A artist and athlete, and Asperger's. I'm gonna repeat things twice, three times, maybe sometimes be obsessed about geopolitics. In my Dragon's Lair, it's 24/7 geopolitics, 24/7 geopolitics. The study and the analysis thereof of geopolitics and fitness and sports. Dancing is my favorite sport, and we're gonna rock and roll, encouraging you all to work out, train, and exercise. Get that sweat, and I've lost more than 77 pounds. I'm gonna say more than 80 now, because last time I weighed myself in the over the weekend, it seems like I lost maybe more than 84 pounds since I started my fitness journey a few years ago. My fitness journey, I always say, always commences today, now. As I live carpe diem every day ever since I died of COVID back in February 2020. March 2020, I had COVID. I thought I was going to die in many ways. I did die. Nothing that I want to go back to. And I remember moving here. I came here really in this better place, better spot with really nothing. And, I survived there. I was living in a neighborhood in Montreal in like mold, MOLD, sick and depressed, suicidal. I came here, I started working out. And what got me out of depression and being suicidal was when I crossed Canada coast to coast. It's going to be 7 years in August and September. I first went with the greatest person I know, Anonymous. If I make a million, I'm going to give 50% half, and Anonymous friend deserves to be 7 times the number after 6, number after 6, number after 6 is 7. Sometimes Richard and Oprah. Love you, Oprah, but love you, Taylor Swift, but I'm a Swiftie, but my anonymous friend deserves to be 7 times richer than Swift. That makes 7 billion, because Swift is supposed to be a billionaire. Give to charity and help support build. I want to build something. If I do want to build something, is House of the Dragon, and buy my anonymous friend a house, and buy and help lay the bricks for the forgotten goddess temple. Yes, GODDSS. I want to build something before I turn to ashes, dust. It is a temple. The Forgotten Goddess Temple right here in North America. The Forgotten Goddess GODDSS Temple. And yours truly, independent artist, athlete, philosopher, encouraging you all to work out, train, exercise. We're going to freestyle a bit for this first rock and roll workout event. Again, I have been and will call for the mass financing of citizens to work out, to train, to exercise. Working out, training, and exercising has been, is, and will be my medicine and therapy of choice. Let's go. For the farmers, for the butchers, for the bakers, for the nurses, for the doctors, grocery store clerks, and those firefighters on the road, and those in the warehouses, in the butchers and the bakers and the nurses. Food security starts with our farmers. Thank you to the cooks, cleaning workers, cooks cooking up some bread. Big respect. People's artist, athlete, North Americans unite, 24/7 geopolitics, and do a little bit of spin like this and go up and down, see a little freestyle workout. It's always good when I work out, train, exercise. I always feel good and take my dose. Already took this morning my dose of social media. Did a geopolitical analysis, because we Aspies. So I'm going to discuss a little bit of Asperger's. So again, I stress enough. I'll go a little bit on the X and on the Y. That Asperger's, it's not a mental illness. Asperger's is a neurological mental divergent condition. So Asperger's, being an Aspie, is not a mental illness. It's a neurological divergent mental or psychic condition. So Asperger's, it's a neurological mental psychic divergent condition. So it makes me predisposed to use overly verbose language and sometimes philosophical cosmopolitan words and verbiage, which are not necessarily due to the condition, but it's just that Asperger's makes one inclined towards such mannerisms and awkward bodily movements and whatever have you. So that is the condition and makes us obsessed. People with Asperger's, we are obsessed. We have obsessive interests. And mine, of course, are geopolitics, the study, and I'm an independent geopolitical analyst and theorist. And of course, not only a geopolitical analyst and theorist, but as well as a independent fitness captain. So my obsessions are fitness and sports. Dancing is my favorite sport. Love dancing and all sorts of dance. I love music, and those are my obsession. Geopolitics, 24/7 dancing, sports, fitness, go Edmonton Oilers. Bring that cup back to Canada. We're gonna rock and roll. Bring the cup back to Canada. So I love general sports, and that's my obsessions, fitness, sports, and of course the study and the analysis of geopolitics to the point that I predicted the current geopolitical events which are transpiring now and have predicted them back in 2019. Not as a prophecy, but as an in-depth analysis. As I did an in-depth analysis, and of course over the years I've written many documents and essays pertaining to the collective North American civilizational complex, as my philosophies, of course, are proponent and propositions are first and foremost for North America, for a 21st century public-private partnership. And when I say support my dream, the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, it is fundamentally a call for a public-private partnership across the collective North American civilizational complex. Let's go, drum me, give me some squats. Gonna work out for that booty, for that peach. Some squats for the farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, saluting those truckers on the roads across North America, carrying goods, bringing east, west, north, south, and the firefighters, the butchers, all those cooks preparing some meals now, delivering some meals, and you know, Post Canada, Canada Post, and Asperger's, the problem that I had, and many Aspies do, people with Asperger's, that, you know, over the past more than 7 years, I've made a lot of friends, especially LGBTQ friends, and I remember a few Pride parades, I exchanged some numbers, and like called back, texted once, and then, but now I know my symptoms, because there's no medication for Asperger's, there's no medication for Asperger's, and I have to work on my symptoms, such as not get too close to comfort when I discuss, because we tend to breach personal space when we discuss and have a conversation. We tend to breach that personal space, and we tend to be obsessed about those topics, and we tend to speak over people. And it's also, there's another thing that's called echolalia. So when somebody says something, we might say it out loud and repeat what the other person said. It's not out of disrespect or trying to offend. It's just that it is a symptom of Asperger's, and is that social awkwardness. So misinterpretation and misunderstandings have been a major characteristics of my condition, and making friends and keeping friends. I kept only a few. Like I lost maybe in the past 7 years 99%, so I only kept a few. But there's Asperger's is not that common, but more and more awareness of what Asperger's and the condition is, to live with it, and I live with it, you know, also being androgynous and pansexual, get that rainbow, rock and roll for that rainbow. For the farmers, for the butchers, for the bakers, for the nurses, for the doctors, for those nurses and the truckers and the bakers baking bread. Let's get me some more squats. We're going to do some hawks. So this is a workout that I created. I'm going to do a special general integrated whole body workout, and this is the hawk exercise. So this is called the HAWK, the hawk, the flying bird. So we're going to go on the toes, turn your head left or right, and we're going to propel our body up. So this is the hawk. So it's like we fly high, build me more satellites across NORAD. Let's go, public-private partnership, and XYZ, you know, and fly high like this. So this is a total body workout, and you got to get that workout, and we work out in XYZ, and we got to do a lot of workout as we work out. And it's something that is an investment in the body being a temple for pleasure and purpose, and that's what it is. You know, we got to invest in the body, and we also got to be mindful of the body as being a temple, something sacred, something to be cherished, you know. That's my philosophy for pleasure and purpose. And we got to slide to the left, and slide to the right, and slide to the left, and slide to the right, and we got to get a slide left and slide right, and slide to the left and slide to the right. And that's why we got to get the drill, and we got to bend a little bit, and go up and down, and that's what we just got to do. So again, Asperger's makes me predisposed to certain weird, awkward body movement. I think the word weird is, a lot of Aspies are, we are weird. We are very weird. We can be, you know, with Asperger's anyways. So I created back in 2019, I created a workout training program system, but I'm not going to do it today because I performed more than 372 of that same workout training program system, and I created it back in 2019, and I've performed more than hundreds of them, like 372. It's a simple and effective total body workout training program system which I've created back in 2019, and which have been calling for it to be implemented across the North American civilizational complex via public-private partnership. Let's go NFL National Football League, let's go NHL National Hockey League, let's go NBA, National Basketball Association, let's go MLB. All finance, women's sports, finance, food security, millionaires, billionaires in Wall Street. Now, if you make $1 million, give 10% for food security, LGBT causes. You know, it's always important to give charity. Myself, the only stress I have at the moment is financial, economic. I'm paid my rent, paid my electricity bill, and I cleaned a little bit. I did some laundry. Gotta be grateful for the laundry machines. I always meditate on all the things of civilization, and I encourage one and all to work out, train, exercise. And working out, training, exercising has been, is, will continue to be my medicine and therapy of choice. Let's go lift those knees up. Kick those knees up to the waist for no food waste. Kick those knees up to the waist for no food waste. So I started my fitness journey after I came out of being depressed and suicidal, but the event that made me come out of depression and being suicidal when I traversed Canada coast to coast. So that event, I said to myself, I had like a revelation. I said, so many things to do, to see across this great country. And I remember the moment when I was in Banff. I saw the mountains in Banff, and I'm like, whoa, this is truly divine, sacred here. I have coast to coast, Admario, Muscat, Americain, Canada, so big, and Quebec, so many things to do in Quebec and across Canada. There's so many things to be grateful for. And we got a lot of issues to work with, my brothers and sisters, you know, who come to join us here in Quebec, Canada, North America, of all diversities. And, you know, if I can work on everything, it's with hugs and kisses first, because that's what I got. And one of my main messages is with consent. Hug like you never hugged before. That is the main message, with consent. Hug like you never hugged before is the main message, with consent. Hug like you never hugged before. And it always brings me joy when I see people on the... And I go on my marches to my second home on the mountain, and I see people holding hands and hugging of all ages and having a good time working out. Always brings me some joy and some hope, and some hope, and some hope, you know, because now maybe on the verge of World War III, you know, and I analyze geopolitics. Geopolitics is my realm, my kingdom, my domain, you know, in a parallel life. I'm also an Aspi, I got Asperger's, but supercomputers, microchips, satellites, development and microchips and all things about supercomputers and telecommunication. That is my kingdom and my realm in that parallel timeline, parallel life. I'm not going to go into that. It's more for a sci-fi time. If you want to finance a parallel life, and yes, I'm a mystic. I believe in reincarnations, and I'm about to do some football drills. Let's go. Give some charity, XYZ, let's go. Football drill is on 3, H. Well, I'm gonna go X, left, right, throw it to Big Brother USA, my brothers and sisters in the USA. Got it time to get that North Americans unite coast to coast, because this Quebecer, Canadian, North American was born twice in previous incarnation, 3 times actually, twice as a man, once as a woman, because sometimes my reincarnation, I'm a man and as a woman, and you get that 50-50. In today now, 3rd of June, you get that 50-50 rock and roll. Play ball XYZ, let's go cheerleaders for the farmers, butchers, bakers, firefighters. Somebody got a LOVR, firefighters. Cheerleader for the butchers, for the bakers, for the nurses, for the doctors, for the grocery store clerks, for the electricians and the plumbers. Let's go, gotta get that cheerleader, give me some LOV. On the airways, I want to hear more people to discuss public hygiene. And I get dirty, but I get back clean. But when I step outside, I'm no longer just private rainbow dragon in the rainbow dragon's lair right here. I'm also become public. So I got added responsibilities, duties, and obligations when I step outside and I'm in my private lair. But anyways, back to a few years ago, you know, I just remember that I got retrograde amnesia, and I moved here to a better place where I left a very moldy place. I always say if I would have stayed there, well, I would have probably been dead or in jail. You know, if I would have stayed where I was, I would have probably been dead or in jail. If I would have stayed where I was, I would have probably been dead or in jail. But I started working out, training, and adopting a very active lifestyle because Asperger's, you know, a lot of people had told me over the years, but until a few years ago, like 2022, I've accepted it because I learned about it. Say, yeah, I got 93% of the symptoms. I established a routine. I'm obsessed laying things in a certain pattern with symmetry, and obsessed about interest, and I repeat things, and I get too close to people in conversation, and I'm socially awkward. I lost a lot of friends and employment. Lost a lot of employment which I made, and that's it, that's all. You learn to live with it, but I got my strengths. You enter geopolitics, you enter my kingdom, you enter fitness. Got a fitness 24/7 people's athlete, and let's go. Generals of NATO come march on the mountain, discuss some coast to coast geopolitics drills. And I served in the United States Army twice in post 1776. Post 1776, I did serve twice in the United States Army that way, in 2 different wars in the United States, and now it's only defense that I'm advocating for the collective North American civilization, and I can be universal and for world peace. But my brothers and sisters, in this life, I really know North America, the island, moving a few years ago, and was sick, chronic sick, and I worked out, training and exercising, and healed, and still on a healing journey every day. And I encourage you all to work out, train, exercise, some push-ups, some marches, and you get 50-50, some social media, balance it out, for mental health. It's always good to get a little bit of sweat. Let's go, XYZ, run, pass, run, pass, run, pass, run. Pass and defense. Play defense, offense. They get X, Y, Z to the left, to the right. Let's play some defense, X, Y, Z. You gotta play defense, and sometimes it takes 11 versus 11 offense, So we're gonna do a little bit of dance. Let's go. Give me some squats. And super important to hydrate today, and we're gonna switch a little bit to that French now, because we are in Quebec, Montreal, Canada. Get ready for some French bilingual at Céline de hélicoptère. Et bienvenue dans la grotte du dragon arc-en-ciel, le lundi. Le 3 juin, je vous encourage, Québécois, Québécoises, à faire de l'entraînement physique. L'entraînement physique a été seulement médecine et thérapie de choix pour les pompiers. Amour aux travailleurs publics qui ont ramassé le recyclage et puis qui vont ramasser la poubelle. Ça prend du public et du privé ensemble pour la danse. Et ah ouais, à l'entraînement physique, puis prenez un peu de soleil, mettez-vous de la crème. Aujourd'hui, il va faire chaud, après-midi, il va y avoir 31 degrés. Oh, tu vas avoir un record pour le mois de juin. Je sais pas qu'est-ce que je sais qu'il faut s'hydrater bien comme faut. Et bienvenue votre dragon arc-en-ciel qui vous encourage, que nous entendons dans les 17 régions. Y a-t-il une 18e qui s'en vient? Je sais pas. Je sais qu'on fait partie du collectif des Américains et en Amérique du Nord. On a fait ce que j'appelle le grand compromis du français pour la continuité du français qu'on a fait de faire un effort. Pas besoin du bécherel pour conjuguer l'amour. Ah ouais, des pompes, des accroupissements en haut en bas. Et après ça, on va shooter en bilingue. Et je vais commencer, bien sûr, avant tout avec la gratitude. La gratitude, j'ai payé mon loyer, j'ai payé ma facture d'électricité. Ayant payé mon loyer, j'ai payé ma facture d'électricité. Go Hydro-Québec, construis-moi donc d'autres centrales pour les travailleurs publics dans les champs de patates. Que ça fasse des femmes puis des travailleurs en construction, ils vont bâtir des gratte-ciels. Des gratte-ciels avec du fer, du ciment, du béton puis du savoir-faire. Ça en prend de la soudure, ça en prend la livraison, ça prend du nettoyage, puis ça prend du lavage. Puis ça en prend des patates, ça en prend avec du fromage, et de la danse. Vous savez, c'est du rock-and-roll de ma grotte 24/24, puis j'adore le rock-and-roll, la danse est mon sport préféré, la danse est mon sport préféré, puis dernièrement, ces dernières années, j'ai appris à faire la gestion de mes symptômes d'Asperger's, parce que c'est pas une maladie mentale, l'Asperger, c'est une condition de neurodivergence. Donc l'Asperger, c'est une condition de neurodivergence, c'est pas une maladie mentale, c'est une condition de neurodivergence. Et cette condition de neurodivergence, ça fait que j'ai des dispositions, des inclinaisons à faire, à avoir des obsessions dans la conversation. Des fois avec des gens, je m'approche trop proche. C'est juste faire de la gestion parce qu'il n'y a pas de médicaments. Comme je dis, c'est pas une maladie mentale, l'Asperger's. C'est une condition mentale de neurodivergence, mentale psychique. Ça veut dire que les Asperger's, on a des obsessions, des intérêts obsessifs Pour moi-même, mon royaume, ben, c'est la géopolitique 24/24. Puis si depuis un matin, puis à chaque jour, la routine, c'est l'analyse en géopolitique, des événements géopolitiques pendant des années, des années, des années. Puis avec l'entraînement physique, parce que j'adore le sport, j'ai commencé mon entraînement physique en 2017. J'ai déjà perdu plus que 80 livres. Je suis sorti de la dépression, mais j'étais en dépression suicidaire. Puis je suis vraiment, j'ai déménagé vraiment ici dans cette place avec. J'avais rien, puis j'avais parti d'une place et j'étais comme malade, puis il y avait la maladie, puis la moisissure, c'était comme beaucoup de moisissure, puis j'ai déménagé, j'ai commencé à m'entraîner, puis je dis toujours, mais j'ai une meilleure place ici, j'ai la gratitude, mais bien sûr que j'habitais avant, et je m'en souviens juste avoir déménagé, puis c'était comme la moisissure, puis je commençais à m'entraîner, quand j'ai traversé le Canada de côte à côte, ben ça a fait comme un petit flash, là, parce qu'en 2017, j'ai traversé, j'étais allé premièrement en Colombie-Britannique, puis après ça, je suis revenu, puis je suis allé à Halifax. Ça fait comme un flash, puis ça se dit, wow, tellement de choses à voir, à faire au Québec, au Canada, à visiter des villes, puis des lacs, puis des rivières, puis d'écrire des chansons, puis de commencer à faire de l'entraînement physique. J'ai commencé à m'entraîner sérieusement, puis dernièrement, ces dernières années, j'ai accepté que j'ai l'Asperger's parce qu'il y a plusieurs personnes qui me l'ont dit, puis bien sûr, tous les symptômes. J'ai perdu beaucoup d'amis, parce que je suis étrange, c'est des choses étranges, comme la manière de s'exprimer et de communication avec les Asperger's, mais on est bon dans les choses qu'on a, comme moi, c'est la géopolitique, l'entraînement physique, puis la danse, avec le sport, l'entraînement physique, puis c'est les choses qu'on maîtrise, comme quand vous me parlez de la géopolitique, c'est mon royaume. Fait que je peux en discuter pendant des heures sans cesse. Puis je peux aller retour au 21e siècle, parce qu'on est au 21e siècle, puis faire un gros retour du 20e siècle, puis voir les conflits régionaux des régions, puis de la géopolitique qui ne sont pas encore résolus, n'ont pas eu leur résolution. Comme je dis toujours ici, en tant que Nord-Américain, Canadien, Québécois, mais on a fait le grand compromis du français, de la langue française, pour continuer à avoir de la paix en Amérique du Nord, puis qu'on continue à faire avec nos frères et sœurs noirs, puis on y travaille sur toutes ces choses-là, le racisme, c'est sûr qu'on y a dedans de nous, il faut des fois l'avouer, puis qu'on travaille ensemble, puis dans une société diverse, puis tous ceux qui viennent nous rejoindre en Amérique du Nord, parce que moi je vois ça en tant que Nord-Américain, Canadien, Québécois, là, comme Québécois, Canadien, Nord-Américain, un complexe de civilisation en Amérique du Nord, puis c'est des compromis qu'on fait au quotidien, comme moi-même, en étant aspi, quand je converse, puis je sors dehors aussi, il faut que je fasse attention des fois, parce qu'un des symptômes, c'est regarder trop certaines choses, certains objets fixes ou des gens, on va les fixer pendant trop longtemps. Puis on n'a pas ces choses-là. Quand il y a des gens qui ne sont pas confortables, il faut que je fasse attention, dans d'autres mots, que je fasse la gestion de mes symptômes, parce qu'il n'y a pas de médicaments pour l'Asperger's, puis juste en savoir, puis je laisse les gens savoir, puis il y a beaucoup de gens qui savent c'est quoi maintenant l'Asperger's. Il y a quand même 3 sur 10, fait qu'il y a quand même 20 à 30% de la population que j'ai parlé en me faisant une statistique individuelle qui savent c'est quoi l'Asperger's. C'est que j'ai des obsessions, puis des fois j'ai des gestes avec les mains ou des petits rituels, puis j'ai une routine établie depuis des années, l'entraînement physique, l'étude en géopolitique, puis toutes ces choses-là, aller à la montagne, puis faire du bénévolat, puis mes adorations solaires. On vit quand même avec une routine. So that's about for that French, and now we're gonna switch it to that French and English. Let's go, give me some hawks, des éperviers. On se lance, on tourne la tête, we turn that hawk. H-A-W-K, hawk head up and down. I wanna see everybody fly, fly. To the sky, sky. Je veux voir les gens qui volent dans les airs. Ah ouais, give me 10 hawks, H-A-W-K. 10 hawks. Donnez-moi 10, 10, 10. 10, 10 or more, plus que 10, on fait extra. We go overtime every time with that extra on the hawk. Or you can call it an eagle. Vous pouvez laisser ça comme un aigle. Comme un aigle sur les rapaces, comme un aigle sur les rapaces. On vole dans les airs, on vole dans les airs. We go fly for that NORAD. Ah, feels good to get that hawk, get that sweat, get that toxic. Yes, I still working on my own toxicity. J'y travaille des fois sur ma toxicité aussi. C'est sûr qu'il faut travailler sur ma toxicité aussi. Et il faut que je fasse, il faut que je fasse, il faut que je fasse. Avec l'hélicoptère, l'hélicoptère, le hélicoptère. I gotta get that helicopter. Chopper, chopper, je dois faire l'hélicoptère, l'hélicoptère, l'hélicoptère. Puis il faut que ça fasse des hélicoptères, des hélicoptères. We gotta get that chopper, chopper, chopper. And we gotta get it on the go, on the go, on the now. So we gotta get low for those squats. Des accroupissements. Ah, that feels good. Ça fait du bien, that feels Rock and roll over time. For the butchers, for the beggars, for the nurses, firefighters get salute. Les pompiers, salutations. Aux fermiers, les boulangers, ça sent le pain. Ça sent le pain au jambon. Rock and roll, bienvenue. Dans la grotte du dragon. Rock and roll and welcome. In the lair of the dragon. You know that I spit a little bit of fire, but I play a rainbow 24/7. You know dragon spit a little bit of fire, but I play a rainbow 24/7. You know dragon spits a little bit of fire, but I play a rainbow 24/7. You want to need some loving, loving that I got. Si vous voulez l'amour, l'amour j'en ai. L'amour, love I got. By the trillions, by the billions, by the hugs and by the kisses. With some push-ups and some hawks. Pour des bisous puis des câlins. Sur l'île de Montréal, jusqu'au de la Madeleine from the Montreal Hawk Island. Let's go Edmonton, I'm excited. Edmonton's going to the finals. We got a chance to bring that cup back to Canada. NHL is not really national, it's binational. Just like NORAD, let's get that Mexico in NORAD. We gotta get that Mexico in NORAD, Dragon NORAD, Public-Private Partnership. Pour le NORAD, l'Alliance, c'est comme binational du NORAD, mais moi je suis pour qu'on mette le Mexique aussi dedans, mais en tant que philosophe, I'm also a philosopher. I'm also a philosopher who now needs to put that philosophy of hydration in motion. Je dois mettre la philosophie de l'hydratation dans motion. Grateful, thankful. I gotta give a shout out to my anonymous friend for the filter, providing the filter. If I make $1 million, $1 billion, $1 trillion, I'm gonna give 50% half, because you know I attribute it I attribute a lot of my success to an anonymous friend, and losing weight, and right, j'attribue beaucoup de succès à un ami anonyme, perdre du poids puis tout ça, and that's it for that we got, for that we got, for that we got. So yeah, I gotta get hydration, man. Faut que je m'hydrate. Super important. 2 HYDRAT pour l'hydratation, l'hydratation. Oh, I gotta get it for the hydration, for the hydration, for the hydration. Sun is gonna be 31, maybe 33 degrees. Peut-être 31, peut-être 33 degrés, peut-être ça va briser un record. Is it gonna break a record? I know that I'm going to the mountain anyways. I'm gonna stay hydrated and do another load of laundry and do some more geopolitics, write some more poetry and rock and roll. Because it was the rock and roll with the poésie, man. You know, Aspies, I got a routine for many, many years now, especially after I survived COVID. My routine is working out, geopolitical analysis, writing as an artist, rock and roll style and dancing, you know. J'ai quand même, surtout depuis 2020, depuis la COVID, j'étais mort de la COVID, j'ai quand même une routine d'entraînement physique, de marche très sévère quand même. C'est une routine d'entraînement physique, d'études en géopolitique, de la création artistique, puis ben de la danse, je peux en danser pendant des heures. I can dance for hours, you know. It's my favorite sport. La danse est mon sport préféré. That's it, that's all. Although I like basketball, gridiron football, boxing, j'adore la boxe. Puis le hockey aussi. Le hockey féminin, c'est bon, c'est du rock and roll. J'adore ça. J'adorais voir ça, le Montréal, là, qui fait des bonnes équipes. Mais j'aimerais ça pouvoir leur chanter quelque chose. Danser pour eux autres. Pour toutes les ligues de sport, parce que je fais appel à l'armée de la danse. I'm calling for that DGA, Dancing Goddess Army across North America, to be established. And I want collaboration, participation, partnership with the Partenariat public. But I'm not getting any private sponsorship or deals or contract at the moment. But j'ai pas de contrôle d'offre en ce moment, mais quand même, tu sais. Je dois l'avoir. Yeah. Let's go for that hawk. H-A-W-K, 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 hawk head all. We go fly high, F-L-Y, all the way. To the pyramids. Les pyramides. Il y en a ici au Mont-Royal. There's pyramids in Montreal. Pyramids, il y a des pyramides. And we're gonna get it down and low. Down and low and up we go. For the lovers, for the butchers, for the youth. Je dois saluer la jeunesse. La jeunesse. Always saluting the youth. Let my children dance. Free. In the streets. Feel safely with that hygiene. Get that soap and get back clean. Get dirty, get back clean. Laissez mes enfants, les jeunes danser en sécurité, puis avec de l'hygiène dans les rues. à la danse. Oh yeah, that feels good, and I always like to put a little boxing in. It's always good to get a little bit of, now I'm going to do freestyle, but I'm doing a special general or integrated whole body training system. Always good to do some push-ups, you know. Always get to do some push-ups, yeah. C'est toujours bon à faire des pompes. Get a little bit of football, you know. I gotta restart Dragon versus Trump, and I gotta give a shout out to the greatest person I know. If I make a million, I'm gonna give her half, and a billion, I'm gonna give her half. And for these gloves were donated right about a few years ago when I started challenging Donald Trump to a boxing match. Donald Trump, of course, due to the fact that he imposed tariffs on Canadian aluminum steel, Canada. And I'm for that North America, you know. C'est North American, mais la couple d'années, j'ai commencé à challenger Donald Trump dans un ring de boxe. Dans un ring de boxe, c'est quand il a fait l'implémentation des tarifs sur l'aluminium puis l'acier du Canada, puis moi, bien sûr, en tant que Nord-Américain, puis quelqu'un qui a servi dans l'armée des États-Unis après 1776. I served in the United States Army both twice. In post after 1776. Rules of boxing is chin down, hands up. Rules of boxing is chin down, hands up, chin down, hands up. Gotta play defense sometimes. Let's go like I'm getting hit. Dock, left, right, and center like I'm getting hit. Get from that sunlight, sunbeams. My Pope the King, sunshine, Crowley. Anyways, I got these gloves from the first person I know, and want to fight in these gloves. I've been using them a lot, so red my favorite color. Let's go with some squash here. Gotta thank I got them, and that person has been the greatest sparring partner I had, and couldn't have any better in the future. C'est un instant la meilleure fait d'équipe que j'ai eu moi-même, puis je pourrais pas avoir personne d'autre mieux que in the corner, you know, that coach, left, right. Gotta get XYZ and get XYZ, protect, defense, défense, protège, défense, on change de jambe. You always gotta get that chin down, hands up. Let's go for the firefighters, for the butchers, for the bakers, for the nurses, for the doctors, pour les fermiers, les travailleurs publics qui changent les aqueducs, qui ramassent les poubelles, le compostage, pour les travailleurs publics, d'abord qui changent les aqueducs. For those public workers changing the aqueducts across North America, we got clean water. On a de l'eau potable. Ah oui, les travailleurs publics. Les dragons cancel box pour le public, puis pour le partenariat public-privé, for that public-private partnership. Left, right, it takes two to tango. You know, left, right. And left, right. Do this for a minute. Let's go. De la gauche puis de la droite, on protège. Tac. Donald Trump, I'm getting hit by Donald Trump. Oh, yeah. He's not ready to go down. Donald Trump, il est pas si facile. Back, il va me frapper. Back. Or Dragon versus Fury. Dragon contre Fury. Dragon versus Usyk. I find my own battles next in line. Let's go. In July. Let's do it July 1st. July 4th. Dragon versus Trump. Le 4 juillet. Dragon contre Fury. Let's go. On the Canadian-US border. Public-private partnership, North American Democratic Republic. Pour la République démocratique de l'Amérique du Nord. Ah ouais, Québécois, ensemble, on va pouvoir bouger les montagnes, on va bâtir plus de centrales de l'Hydro-Québec. Oh, là, du travail à faire en Amérique du Nord. Sur moi-même aussi. Hop, let's go get it, paint me some benches, public. Thank you for those who re-established the park public workers who pick up new benches, and of course new fit to drink water, clean water, pour ceux qui ont mis bien sûr de l'eau, puis que ça fasse baie de l'eau, puis qu'on puisse boire de l'eau. Ça a pris beaucoup de travail. Imaginez-vous ça, faire une méditation, mais quand je bois, je m'en vais puis la fontaine, là, puis je bois sur le Mont-Royal, j'imagine tous les aqueducs en dessous de la terre, qu'ils ont placés pour faire la filtration de l'eau. C'est tout un privilège, la civilisation. It's all a privilege. Civilization is a privilege, you know, and I'm meditating about all the aqueducts and everything, all the work underneath, which was done over the decades. You know, when I go and drink a little bit of water, clean water from the water fountain on the mountain or outside in the public, I always meditate about all that labor, work, which has been done since civilization is a privilege, you know. So, gotta get that centrism, and fitness. Super important to invest in the body. I've been depressed and suicidal, and j'étais en dépression suicidaire, you know. Recently I accepted, I got Asperger's, you know, I've been in the open LGBTQ rainbow for many, many, many years. I made a lot of LGBTQ friends, but I lost 99%. Je me suis fait beaucoup d'amis LGBTQ pendant 7 ans passés, mais avec l'Asperger, c'est pas facile, tu sais. On texte un peu et tout, mais je suis quand même joyeux, tu sais. L'entraînement physique ces dernières années, en ayant survécu la COVID, I'm joyous, joyous, joyous. I'm just financially stressed. I'm just financially stressed. Je suis juste un stress financier en ce moment. J'ai juste le stress financier, mais après ça, mais ça va bien, tu sais. Je suis pas, c'est quelqu'un qui n'est pas bien parce que la gratitude, ça fait du bien d'avoir la gratitude pour les choses qu'on a, mais having gratitude, I think, is a great component for mental health. Like gratitude about food, coffee, and just being grateful that I got the washing machine, you know, because I used to do laundry, in the neighborhood, and I used to spend money. Juste avoir la gratitude pour la laveuse puis la sécheuse. Imagine juste le travail que ça a été fait, parce qu'avant, j'allais bien sûr à la buanderie, je le faisais, puis tout ça, mais ça fait, c'est juste de la gratitude. So being grateful is something which is, of course, important, to be grateful for the things we have. And we gotta get down. Let's go do me some squats. On y va, on fait des accroupissements. Let's go squats. I want at least 10 squats. Je veux au moins 10 accroupissements. Let's go train that booty. Train that peach. On entraîne les fesses, on descend de en bas. We get it up, we get it down. We get it up and down. And sometimes I gotta play the clown. Freedom, it ain't easy, but it's better than slavery. You gotta see somebody know. Gotta see somebody high. I gotta just ask, get dirty but get back clean. And I love machines. Those big trucks and those big bakers. In the ovens, in the lakers. In the lakes we gotta clean. And we gotta clean the lakes. We got a lot of cleaning to do here in North America. The forests and the forests, les forêts bien sûr. Mais il y a beaucoup de travail environnemental. And I gotta work on myself as well, you know, because I'm not totally 100% super clean and super healthy. Moi aussi, je dois travailler sur moi-même constamment. La toxicité, you know, everything that we got, you know, the lower self, you know. L'aspect plus bas de notre personnalité, hein, on l'a aussi, mais il faut faire la gestion, tu sais, pour être dans la moyenne, ou peut-être plus, to be at least in the middle, a little more higher self, but I'm not all the time there, you know. I got some selfish, I'm not totally altruistic, although I love volunteering. J'adore faire du bénévolat, and I love to serve. J'aime ça servir, quelque chose que j'ai vraiment aimé, faire du bénévolat dans la sécurité alimentaire. And c'est ça, juste la sécurité alimentaire. J'aimais ça servir. I like to serve, and if I can serve and just ask, you know, just ask if I can. So, and that's an Asperger's things, is that we would offer more things. If you're gonna need, we're gonna offer whatever things, rather than console or say I'm sorry or XYZ. And a lot of people misunderstand. They think that we don't have compassion or empathy, but it's not that. Is we show it differently. We show it more by action. So, for example, I give you an example. You say, "Oh, I'm so sore." We would offer you a massage, offer you washing of the feet, offer you something instead of saying I'm sorry or whatever. We would just offer, you know. So, or you would say XYZ, and then we would offer things. C'est ça l'Asperger's. Des fois, le monde pense qu'ils n'ont pas de compassion, pas d'empathie, mais c'est pas ça. On offre des choses à la place de dire, ben, je suis désolé pour toi si t'as comme mal, tu viens finir ton entraînement, tu dis, ah, j'ai tellement mal au cou, ou j'ai tellement mal, tu sais, mes muscles, j'ai des inflations, on va offrir, genre, si t'es ami avec Vénétie, on va faire des offres. On va dire, tu veux-tu un petit massage? Tu veux-tu que je t'applique de la crème sur ton corps? On va offrir des choses comme ça. Comme on va essayer de soulager, de faire du soulagement. On va essayer de soulager, aider d'une manière si on est capable. C'est ça l'Asperger's. We're just going to try to help, alleviate if we can. Right? If we have a little bit of energy or knowledge, like applying some cream, let's say you're sore, you finished your workout and you're sore, we would offer you that, you know. We would offer you that. On va t'offrir, on va faire des offres dans ce cas-là. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna offer things like that. So that's Asperger's, but it's not that we don't have empathy or compassion. It's just that most Asperger's we tend to show it by action. La plupart des aspects qu'on a Asperger's, on va le faire par des actions. Montrer notre compassion, notre empathie par des actions, principes, par des principes, là, par faire du soulagement, que ça soit, mais ça soit tellement d'exemples. Je peux donner, I could give a lot of examples, but nonetheless, that's basically where we go with that. So now we're gonna get a little bit of workout. We're gonna do a little bit of training, and we're gonna go up and down and up and down, and we're gonna go to the X, to the X, to the Y, to the X, and we're gonna go to the squats, to the squats, to the squats, to the squats, and we're gonna go up and up and up and down, and we're gonna go one sweat, one push-up, one click at a time. We're gonna go for X, and we're gonna go for those squats, and we're gonna go for that X and Y and Z, and super important to hydrate. And you know, I keep it in motion. That's one of my principles of working out, is I keep it in motion, and now I feel a little bit of sweat, and I'm gonna hydrate and feel good and shower thereafter, and then go work, do another laundry, and do my geopolitics analysis of geopolitics, because it's a constant thing. Geopolitics in my mind, you know, preoccupies most of my days. Geopolitical analysis, la géopolitique, mais pendant des années, ça préoccupe ma vie. Puis dans ce sujet-là, mais je suis vraiment obsédé par ce sujet-là. This is a real obsession, you know, that I have geopolitics, la géopolitique, and to the point that I was able to predict what's happening now back in 2019, being based on a great in-depth geopolitical analysis, and of course great in-depth geopolitical analysis dans une complexe de géopolitique. C'est bien sûr l'analyse, puis j'ai prévu qu'est-ce qui se passe maintenant en 2019. So c'est ça, that's it, that's all. Rock and roll, we gotta go for the sun. The sun is UN. The sun d'hier, the sun d'hier. Le soleil. On va s'hydrater, il va faire chaud aujourd'hui, gotta hydrate. Watch it out there on the roads, be careful there on the roads, you know, and watch it for those solar flares, because my king, the Pope, the sun, might get us some rock and roll, parce que mon roi, le pape, le soleil, peut-être va nous faire du bon rock and roll avec des solar flares, you know. Anyways, here I am, and grateful, thankful that my rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, got food and coffee, mon loyer est payé, ma facture d'électricité est payée, puis j'ai du café puis du thé, puis c'est toujours quelque chose d'important, la gratitude, and I gotta get it on that gratitude, man. Gratitude. Make LOV with consent, LOV, you know. Hopefully somebody gonna make love in the free world, and with a rainbow love, black and white love, and black and white and rainbow. Fait de l'amour, noir et blanc, arc-en-ciel, fait l'amour dans le monde libre. And I was putting the uniform on for it. That's another rock and roll song. And, you know, I believe in reincarnations. And I read one of my favorite poems is Through a Glass Darkly, George Patton, Through a Glass Darkly. And my poème préféré, c'est The Glass Darkly, de George Patton. It's a general of the United States, un général des armées des États-Unis. Let's go, hydrate. We gotta get it for that, hydrate. On s'hydrate. We gotta play that football. And we gotta get it for the X. Let's go, give me some drills, HHH. Canada passes to the United States passes to Canada, and they go coast to coast. Le Canada passe aux États-Unis, les États-Unis s'unissent, le dragon arc-en-ciel, puis passe de côte à côte. Canada comes to the United States comes Canada, North America unites. With a dragon, rainbow dragon passes coast to coast. Il faut une passe de côte à côte, coast to coast, de côte à côte. Coast to coast, they're from the island of Montreal, metropolis, 2.5 million people, rock and roll 24/7. For the butchers, for the bakers, for the nurses, for the doctors, for the grocery store clerks, for those electricians and the plumbers and the nurses and the doctors, those bakers, baking up some meat, cheeseburgers on the sheet. For those fast food workers, let's go drill. Pour ceux qui font bien sûr. Gotta get football, you know that I love football, and we're gonna go for the drill. And we're gonna pass. And we're gonna get it for the X, for the Y, for the Z, and we're gonna go for the left, for the right, for the Z, and we're gonna go for the left, right, and center, and we're gonna get 5 yards, 3 yards. And we're gonna get those coast to coast, keep it in motion, the côte à côte. Let's go up. Sometimes fumbles, recovery. He recovers from the left, from the right. He stiffs arm. Let's go, gridiron drills. Let's go for one. Brady played when Brady was 37. They said he was too old. 7 years later, he was 45. He won a Super Bowl. He won his 7th ring. So, quand Tom Brady avait 37 ans, ils ont dit il est trop vieux pour jouer le Canadien quand il avait 37. Puis après ça, 7 ans plus tard, à 45 ans, il a, il a gagné le Super Bowl. He led the Buccaneers to victory. It ain't all about offense. Sometimes you gotta play that defense. North America, we're gonna play my defensive style. One of my 49ers. 49ers, give some charity millionaires, billionaires, finance. Mass financing of citizens to do my workout training program. It's time to finance citizens to workout, train, exercise. C'est le temps qu'on finance les gens à faire l'entraînement physique. Let's go, millionaires, billionaires. Support the DJ Dancing Goddess Army. Soutenez l'armée de la déesse qui danse. Let's go, shoot him up for that 6 yards. 6 yards to the left, 6 yards to the center, 6 yards to the left and right and center. 6 à gauche, à droite, 6 à droite au centre, ça fait 6 fois 3, 18. 6 plus 6 is 12. Another fumble, no! That's 18 yards. We gotta get that coast to coast. How many yards? How many yards XYZ? Combien de pieds de la gauche puis de la droite? How many yards? From the X and from the right and from the left. And we gotta go for that X and we gotta go for that Y. Yeah, de la droite, de la gauche, de la droite. We gotta get for X, Y, Z for the left. And we gotta get for those drills, for those drills. Hey, incur a little pass, 22 yards. That's that 44 pass yards. And we gotta go for that X, for that Z, for that Y, you know. So that's why we go for that drill, for that drill, for that drill. For that drill, for that drill, for that drill. We gotta get it for the F, for the Y, for the Z. And we gotta get it for the X, for the Y, for the Z. And we gotta pass all the way inside, pass all the way to the left, pass all the way to the center. We gotta go for that Super Bowl. We gotta go for North Americans Unite. Channel the aggression with sportsmanship. Channel the aggression. Dragon Army motto is we. Channel the aggression with push-ups and hugs. That's the motto. We channel the aggression with push-ups and hugs. Sportsman, LOV. Tom Brady's capable to say love to the defeated opponents or when he loses sometimes. So it's reconciliation. Canada, US. North Americans unite. Black and white. Freedom. Noir et blanc, arc-en-ciel, la liberté. C'est pas facile. I'm not worthy to fight in the cause of freedom myself. Je suis pas digne de me battre pour la liberté moi-même. Hey, not a lot of us are. I actually know one person. Je connais juste une personne vraiment dans la vie qui est capable de se battre pour la liberté, for freedom. Freedom is something new under the sun, Mr. Solomon. Freedom is a new thing under the sun, Mr. Solomon. Freedom is a new thing. Under the sun, Mr. Solomon. Don't mind me if I play black and white and rainbow. Don't mind me if I sing it. Black and white and rainbow. Get it for the sunshine on the satellites. Get it for the left and right. Get it for the cheerleaders. Cheerleaders for the farmers. Cheerleaders for the butchers. Cheerleader for the bakers. Cheerleader for the nurses. Cheerlead me up for the public workers. Changing the aqueducts. On doit faire de l'entraînement pour des salutations puis de la danse. Pour les travailleurs publics, pour les fermiers dans les fermes, pour tous ceux qui sont dans les infirmières qui font du nettoyage de la gauche puis de la droite. On the left, on the right. What time is it? Quelle heure qui on va? On noon we stop. We got a few more minutes. It's 11:44, il est 11h44. Let's go. We gotta keep it in motion, get for more hydration, de l'hydratation. Gotta get that hydration. I already feel good. I'm gonna leave and run to the mountain, continue my workout later after I have some lunch and check laundry. So I'm busy. You know, I have a routine. And once again, my brothers and sisters, keep it sportsmanlike in North Americans. Gotta keep that North American security and service sportsman with sportsmanlike, you know, to protect and serve. Gotta salute. We gotta sometimes get in the 21st century based on my protocols. Part of the Dragon Army initiative for the 21st century citizen integrated security and service, citizen integrated security and service, or my CIS theory, my citizen integration theory, my CIT, citizen integration theory, which I'm calling for the implementation, my theory, the Citoyen intégré, j'ai commencé à faire là, un couple de plus que 7 ans déjà que j'ai travaillé, puis j'ai plusieurs documents décrits sur des clés USB, puis sur les papiers qui font vis-à-vis mes études, mes analyses en géopolitique, du point de vue nord-américain. Du point de vue nord-américain, par exemple, parce que je peux l'être, puis je suis universel international pour la paix mondiale, mais qu'est-ce qui se passe dans le monde maintenant? Mais on a vu qu'il y a des conflits qui n'ont pas été capables d'être résolus du 20e siècle, du 20e siècle, du 20e siècle. C'est comme ici en Amérique du Nord, on a beaucoup de travail de réconciliation, mais on fait moi-même, avec mes voisins, qui sont tous mes voisins, toute ma famille ici à Montréal. Je vous considère comme une grosse famille de Nord-Américains. I consider you a great North American family, you know, the great North American family, and the great North American family, you know. And that's about it. That's it, rock and roll. And everybody who's... I do only friends with benefits from now on. I do only friends with benefits, only friends with benefits. J'ai juste des amis avec bénéfices maintenant. J'ai des amis avec bénéfices. Juste des amis avec bénéfices maintenant. Puis si je peux vous rendre service, that's it, that's all, rock and roll. And pledge your allegiance, allegiance to our family. Prêtez allégeance, les gens, vous êtes famille. And let's go do some push-ups in the sun. Do some push-ups and some squats. Do some push-ups and some squats and some freedom in the hands up, freedom in the hands up, freedom in the hands up. Avec les mains dans les airs, de la gauche, puis de la droite. Dans un cercle, dans un cercle, dans un cercle. For the fitness, independent fitness. And I always say to somebody who begins their fitness journey, your fitness journey begins today. Votre conditionnement physique commence dès aujourd'hui, and it's important to encourage others. You know, you see the children do a push-up, a squat, or do some exercise, applaud, and say, encourage them to do some more. Si vous voyez les jeunes qui font des accroupissements ou des pompes pour l'entraînement physique, les applaudir, puis dire oui, continuez, continuez, continuez. C'est aussi la jeunesse. C'est super important, l'entraînement puis physique, puis un mode de vie actif. A physically active lifestyle is super important. It is great for mental health, and in parallel with gratitude. Avec la gratitude, le mode de vie, bien sûr, avec l'activité physique, parallèlement à la gratitude, ça fait tellement du bien, puis c'est quelque chose qu'il faut encourager, bien sûr. Some things we gotta encourage, support, and even finance, et même juste l'encouragement moral, puis d'une manière commune de communication, mais aussi, pas juste ça, mais aussi par le fait là, que par l'encouragement, puis par le financement. Je pense que c'est super important de le financer en ce moment. Le millionnaire, milliardaire, on est capable, multi-millionaires, billionaires, I think we're capable. I think we should. I would definitely give. Je donnerais vraiment. Oh. Oh yeah. LOV to our farmers, LOV to our butchers, LOV to our nurses, LOV to our doctors, LOV to our grocery store clerks, LOV to those involved in the distribution and the production of food. Pour ceux, l'amour, ceux qui font la distribution de l'agriculture, puis qui font le ménage, puis les infirmières, les docteurs, les travailleurs de l'Hydro-Québec. Hydro-Québec workers, Hydro-Québec workers, Hydro-Québec workers. And we're gonna do some more hawks. Des éperviers, on s'élance. On s'élance, on s'élance, on s'élance sur les orteils. On tourne la tête de la gauche à droite. We turn our heads left and right. We turn our heads left and right. And we go fly, FLY, hawk, hawk, hawk. Et on vole dans les airs jusqu'aux étoiles. All the way to the starlight, starlight, starlight. Jusqu'aux étoiles. On y va. Let's go. Let's go. Turn your hawk heads east, west, north, south, and do some squats. Et on fait des accroupissements. Let's go, give me some squats. On fait des accroupissements. And we go squats, SQATS, SQATS, SQATS. We go up and down, build that booty and that peach. Super good, super good. That feels good. We're gonna get a little bit of the drill. Let's go more football. Football 24/7, HYZ, sometimes it's defense. And the Ravens beat my 49ers for the first time. My defensive protocols for the collective North American civilization are mostly based on that Super Bowl event known as the Hardball. I don't remember watching it that day in 2013, but I watched it in 2017 and 2016 because I got retrograde amnesia and just remember moving and kind of blackout. It was also called the blackout ball, and he played against my 49ers, Niner Empire, and the Ravens by 3 points. 3 points, only 3 points. 34-31. The Ravens beat my Niners, and my Niners lost for the first time in that Super Bowl. For the 49ers had never lost in a Super Bowl before, and we have 5 rings. Let's get that 666, and of course with Brady coming afterwards. I mean, Brady didn't play in that game, but I mean, Brady has 7. Because I was gonna say who has the most, and it's Brady, but with different teams. Because Brady has 7. Brady has 7 rings. Brady won the Super Bowl 7. Right? My Niners are about to get that 6 anyways. With the Niners combined and the Ravens, which beat my 49ers back then. And I saw it a few times, like twice. I'm gonna watch it a third time, and it was called the Hardball Ball, and it's also called the Blackout Ball. I'm not going to go into the conspiracy theories of that. I'm not going to go into conspiracy theories of that. I'm not a big fan of conspiracy theories, but I do know, of course, that it was the blackout ball, and that's what it was then, and that's what it was now, and we got to get it for the drill, and we got to get it for the X, but the Ravens beat my Niners for the Niners lost for the first time, and that was the defense, but it was very close, just like my Niners lost only in overtime last time, and we got a great defense, and of course, sometimes it takes defense by inch, and that's my motto for the defense of the Collective North American Civilization, in parallel to the citizen integration theory. It's part of that Super Bowl back then. So XYZ, we got my Alouettes who won the Grey Cup last year. Anyways, let's do some drills, do some squats. Super important, get that booty, get that peach, and get exercise. On va faire des accomplissements, mais comme je viens de dire en anglais, bien sûr, c'est que le modèle de philosophie avec ma théorie d'intégration citoyenne, puis pour le collectif de civilisation dans l'Américain, pour l'Amérique du Nord, pour la défense, pour l'intégration de mes protocoles, bien sûr, puis les documents que j'ai écrits, c'est avec du sportsmanship, c'est basé sur le Super Bowl qui a été gagné par les Ravens, puis que moi je suis à San Francisco, les 49ers, puis les 49ers, ils ont perdu par 3 points, la défensive qui a gagné, puis c'est la première fois que le San Francisco 49ers, ils ont perdu, ils n'ont jamais perdu. Ils ont gagné 5 fois, les 49ers, mais ils n'ont jamais perdu dans un Super Bowl auparavant. Puis je viens de dire, bien sûr, que Tom Brady a 7, puis que je veux que mes 49ers, ils gagnent la 6e, 6. Mais Tom Brady en a 7. Il a gagné à 45 ans. Anyways, let's go. And now we're going to go for the drill. Now we're just going to turn with the ball. Just turn for a minute. Walk and turn. On va tourner comme ça avec le ballon. Just to turn a little bit those hips, Just pour les hanches un peu. On se tourne. We turn, twist. Just twist those hips basically. Twist. To get a little bit of... Twist a little bit of that. Twist a little bit like that. On twist. Let's go. Twist, left and right. Twist. Ah, yeah. That's good. And let's simulate some throws. On simule les throws. Pop. Throw it up. Left, right. Let's go left, right. Throw it to the left, to the right. And 7 to the left. That's my left, actually, this is my right. 11 down the middle, and a big 33 for the Hail Mary. 33, mais we gotta launch it, right? Gotta get that projectile. Gotta play defense, coast to coast defense, défense de côte à côte. North Americans unite, l'Amérique du Nord on s'unit. De côte à côte, coast to coast. And we gotta get it for the road. Whoopa! Let's go. Pitch, strength. Gotta be balanced with love and understanding. We cannot base everything on sports and fitness and strength. We gotta have love and understanding. On doit se baser aussi sur l'amour, puis la compréhension, pas juste sur la force, puis l'entraînement physique, puis l'agression sans apprendre les autres choses dans le collectif de civilisation Americain, North American Collective Civilizational Complex. Sports fitness is part of it, strength and athleticism, but not all. Sometimes you gotta get that culture, those soft pillows, those massages, and we cool down. Cool down period, 5 minutes. Oh, it's a cool down. I just gonna go until noon, I said, and that's it. That's all until noon. Gonna go check my laundry if it's done, and the laundry's done, then we get to proceed and get to hydrate. Anyways, rock and roll for the farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors. Ben, c'est rock and roll pour les infirmières, les travailleurs publics qui ramassent les poubelles, le compostage. J'y pense aux autres, puis je pense toujours des méditations, surtout quand je vais à la montagne, avec tout ce qui se passe à travers l'Amérique du Nord. Everything that's going on across North America, you know, from, of course, people financially struggling and to the Wall Street, you know, social assistance to Wall Street, give some charity, and de ceux qui sont financièrement en crise, puis il y a des difficultés comme moi-même, puis jusqu'à la bourse, les millionnaires, milliardaires, millionnaires, billionaires. Money is to finance things to do. So I say finance people's fitness and wellness. Tant qu'on finance l'entraînement physique, I think public-private partnership, universities, everything to get people fit and to finance and create the UE, Universal Exchange Unit, la création de l'unité d'échange universelle au 20e siècle. Je pense que ma théorie de la refusion de la dette, faire l'implémentation, c'est qu'est-ce qu'il y a de mieux. I think that my debt refusion theory, it's the best, and I gotta salute the youth, je dois saluer la jeunesse, et bien sûr, ça en fait toujours du bien avoir la jeunesse qui s'entraîne. I gotta salute the youth, and always feels good when I see the youth happy and active, quand je vois les jeunes, puis les ados et les enfants joyeux, mais ça m'amène aussi de la joie, puis I always say, you know, the protocols to the national defense, you know, that before you get put on the uniform to get that defense, you know, Mr. Citizen Bill Blair, I got LOV for Bill Blair Citizen, and gonna rock and roll for our troops, Canadian Armed Forces, NATO troops, go NATO NORAD, ah ouais pour nos troupes, salutations, mais je dis toujours bien sûr qu'il faut, avant de mettre un uniforme, soit dans l'armée canadienne ou dans l'armée des États-Unis, je parle de l'ensemble de l'organisation de l'OTAN. Donc, il y a 32 pays membres. Mexique, que je fais que soit, il y a le 33e de l'OTAN. Mais je dis toujours, mais si vous devrez aller lire des livres à des enfants, ça c'est un protocole que j'ai commencé à écrire, bien sûr, puis dans mes théories, puis mes thèses de philosophique, ben, parce que la défense nationale, ben, ça commence, bien sûr, avec les jeunes, puis la jeunesse, des petits bébés dans les garderies, les petits de 1 an dans les garderies, avec les plus âgés, puis moi-même, j'ai eu de l'expérience à travailler dans les CLHSD aussi, avec les plus aînés qui ont bâti bien des centrales, puis ont bâti bien pour avoir la civilisation nord-américaine, puis l'Amérique du Nord, puis les aînés, puis les jeunes, puis je dis toujours, ben, ça prend pour aller donner, comme moi, je m'en souviens, je donnais à manger aux citoyens aînés, c'était vraiment une expérience que j'ai bien aimée, mais bon, avec l'Asperger, c'est plus difficile à garder un emploi pendant longtemps, mais si les gens, il faut qu'ils me communiquent, puis je fais toujours oui, puis des compromis, je suis capable. Des fois, je suis direct, puis je peux offenser les gens, mais c'est pas parce que je veux, puis c'est pas la volonté, mais c'est juste que c'est l'Asperger's, puis il faut se comprendre de cette manière-là. Puis avec moi, c'est mieux d'être plus direct, puis je me le demander, puis je vais faire le mieux possible. Surtout quand je suis dans le public, j'ai des devoirs. Mais en tout cas, basé au protocole que j'ai dit, ben, faut que les soldats, avant qu'ils mettent un uniforme pour la défense nationale, ben, moi, en tant que général Dragon Zéro Arc-en-Ciel, ben, je dirais, mais il faudrait qu'ils aillent lire un livre à des enfants ou changer les couches, parce que c'est eux autres qu'on les défend. Pour la défense, c'est de côte à côte, côte à côte. Ça commence avec qui qu'on défend, les citoyens qu'on défend, puis tous ceux qui viennent nous rejoindre dans la grosse famille de l'Amérique du Nord, dans le complexe nord-américain, ben, c'est les jeunes, les enfants, premièrement, puis après ça, de tous âges, mais premièrement, c'est pour ça que je dis. That's what I'm saying as a protocol to Bill Blair, of course, that I wrote a few years ago, started writing, and somebody who has experience to work with the children as an animator, and of course with the elderly as well. I remember during the COVID crisis, I had a few months of employment with the CHSLD, which I really love, but you know, with Asperger's, it's better to be direct with me and let me know, to just verbalize it rather than gossip. And if I can make some arrangements, some compromise, I'm willing, just ask, but people sometimes think that we are rude, or but because we tend to be sometimes direct and we don't mean to offend and stuff like that. It's just how Asperger's is. And I'm a happy Asperger. Yeah, sometimes I'm financially stressed and moody. I need a massage, whatever. But finance, the farmers, and the nurses, the massage, billionaires. That's my code. But anyways, back to my citizen Bill Blair, Minister National Defense. Big love to our NATO troops. Let's go 33rd. Put that Mexico inside NATO. That would be something good to do, because inclusive of North American Collective for the NATO alliance, because we're part of NATO, NORAD and NATO. But I always say, as a protocol for the free world, we're going to put on the uniform to go defense. Well, it starts with our children. It starts with the children in the daycares. It starts with the children in the daycares, the youth, the daycares, and the elderly. So I would be that protocol to go with the youngest to change the diapers or read a children's books to those 2-year-old, 3-year-olds, 7-year-olds in the daycares before unable to put on that uniform, the national defense, so that who you're defending coast to coast, because coast to coast for defense. And of course for the elderly to go, like I remember feeding, sometimes you feed the more elderly, and that was always a pleasure, and I enjoyed feeding. So that experiences and more experiences. But yeah, that would be a protocol as a philosopher, because I'm also a philosopher. Je suis aussi un philosophe. I am also a philosopher. Je suis aussi un philosophe. A centrist, a centriste, a philosophe centriste. Like a North American, at the core, I'm a North American philosopher. Au point, je suis un philosophe nord-américain quand même. Tu sais, je pile pour la paix mondiale, mais je suis nord-américain, North American, and I'm for world peace and for world affairs, and I study international and affairs and matters, because it's geopolitics. J'étudie les choses internationales puis finance, mais fondamentalement, je suis un Nord-Américain. Même si j'ai vécu d'autres vies antérieures, j'étais né ici dans des vies passées. J'ai rencontré Louis C, puis Louis C, j'étais né bien sûr homme-femme dans plusieurs vies. J'étais fille du roi, puis j'ai rencontré Jean de Mance dans une autre vie. J'ai rencontré Louis Cyr. In a past life, I met Louis Cyr and Jean Mance and Simon Bolivar, Latin America. And sometimes I was born a man, sometimes a woman. Des fois j'étais né homme, des fois j'étais né femme. You get that 50-50. Vous avez le 50-50 aujourd'hui. Rock and roll for the farmers, for the butchers, for the bakers, for the nurses, pour les fermiers, les agriculteurs. Hello vie avec amour, encourage à faire l'entraînement physique. I encourage you to work out, train, exercise, and I'm excited because I got another gift from the greatest person I know soon to make the first dance in these Rainbow on the Mountain. Maybe this weekend, cette fin de semaine, peut-être je vais faire cet entraînement de la danse dans ces bas que je vais vendre pour 1 million pour lui donner la moitié à mon ami anonyme, to give half of that million to my anonymous sister. Actually should even sell them more if I dance. Every time I dance in them, it's gonna be 1 million added. Chaque fois que je danse dedans, ça va être 1 million de plus. That's it. That's all for today. Rock and roll it every day. Grateful, thankful, rent paid, electricity bills paid, got food and coffee. Gratitude. J'ai payé mon loyer, j'ai payé ma facture d'électricité, puis j'ai du café puis du thé. Puis on s'en va plus tard à la montagne. Still, because it's fitness overtime. C'est de l'entraînement physique en overtime. Puis encore, j'ai du travail à faire. I got work to do. And independent work, independent and laundry. Du lavage puis du travail indépendant. Love it.